To illustrate the importance of measuring impact, we'll show you a couple of theoretical case studies, kind of a combination of different case stories that we group together, but they are all based on real life situations. So, for this first case study, this is really a very common occurrence when you are in a scientific platform that has been just started. So some of the measurements you can, for example, if you look at year one, you can do like the classical measurements or metrics that we've discussed earlier, like and having some kind of color code saying if you're on track according to those metrics. So for the year one, for example, you're okay. All training requests are completed. All instrument support requests, for example, when you need to run samples with the user, are completed, and you have a reasonable administrative load. And then as the time goes by, you become more popular. So on year two, the user base is growing, and there's also a change in reporting from the administration. They ask you more. So now you have training requests that need to be prioritized, and some are denied. You have a backlog of requests for instrument support, high administrative load. And it happened to me in the past, like with those kind of metrics, I was about to go to my administration saying, you know, we need to be two, because just myself doesn't work. People are not happy, they're not satisfied, and so on and so forth. So having two platform sciences and a little bit more of administrative support, for example, having a billing taken care of by the administration and not by you, then you go back to all greens, like all training requests are completed, all instrument support requests, advanced application are completed, and even if the load is a bit higher, since you have some support from the administration, it becomes manageable again. So adding a second platform scientist fixes the training and support backlog. However, this could lead to decrease in net revenue. So if you are just looking at money, might look like you lost some benefit over the years. Reporting in year two was important to show the need for a second FTE, full-time employee, and the need to measure many indicators to get the full story about the scientific platform is really important here. And this is really an illustration of how you can use that to advocate your core and explaining, you know, where are the gaps when the gaps appear. So it's not always all green that you need. So now, if we were to look at a case study that is more of an imaging facility, so again, we mentioned several times that whatever you measure is very dependent of your mission and vision. So in that case, it's an advanced imaging facility with a mission to serve a few labs in one department. And those labs use bioimaging extensively. So they are not allowed to generate revenue. So this is from a story in a lab in Europe. They're accessible only for people of the department, but they are in close relationship with a couple of companies for new hardware and applications development. And they are very good at developing unique imaging strategies. But university policy does not provide any support with IP and patents. So nothing has been filed over the last 2 years. And for scientific publication, there's no clear policy. We'll discuss that quite a bit in the breakout rooms. So what if you come with a new policy? So the mission and vision remains the same, but over the years, the university comes up with a shared IP with intellectual property between scientific platform and the company. It's a university policy. Now they have people supporting to write the contracts. So it's not on the facility manager's shoulders to do so. And they define a clear publication policy with co-authorship and acknowledgement policy clearly in place and enforced, for example, with some ARID support. I'd like to mention that in many discussions, I heard acknowledgement. You can aim for co-authorship in many occasions too. So there's a lot of, and I'll talk about that on the third session. There's a lot of international recommendation how to share authorship, depending on the contribution with credit, for example. And there's also international push to include a lot more people on the authorship list. So now we're gonna, again, spread in different rooms. So breakout room, so I guess we will do breakout room 1 and 2 will do the KPIs that I will show that are on the paper. In the breakout room, which I know 4 only, we'll do the ACIs. So you will see on the Google document, you have 3 different measurements that are suggested. And the idea is for you to see what the change in policy for IP support and publication policy, what was the impact before those rules were enforced and after, and see how the metrics evolved over time after the implementation of those 2 policies. So I guess we can now go in the rooms and report back in 20 minutes.